think I can get started. Well, welcome anyone that's here. Today it's gonna be a pretty chill stream. I'm just gonna work on some of my previous builds that I didn't get to quite finish the last time. So I'm gonna start on those. So I was gonna finish off these 3 shops and possibly go into another build in my Mob World series. But yeah. Okay, I think my flying controls are a lot faster than they were last time. Oh well, I'll get used to it. Or maybe not. I don't know how to slow them down. I feel like it's an axiom thing. Anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to go after this. Kind of clean it up. And see what else I want to add. The first thing I can think of is definitely storage. I do want this to kind of like appear as a storefront. Maybe something like that. So what would banners look like? Yeah, that's... But I feel like it needs to be a little bit lower. Could I put banners on? Yeah, I like that a lot more. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, but now I'll probably come back to the banner design. Still want to figure out what... If it's on the inside, maybe could add some shelves. For the goods. Yeah. And then this can kind of be like a kind of our way of like having a sign for what actually is in here. So like when they were to sell it. So actually, let me get the entire andesite line. I feel like there should be more. Like there should be a chiseled block for andesite. Yes. My character Kyle will definitely be the character who will be making the banners for the shop. I'll probably get back to the design and probably make that in a little bit. I kind of want to just see how it looked. So I think it looks nice right there, kind of like a, the opening to a shop. And then maybe we can put andesite in here, so this could be just full of andesite. Then you got the other basics. Get some polished. And maybe we can have an overflow chest. Oh, I can't grab the andesite. And there we go. So when we got our character out here, that we can sell stuff and they can, reach over here and grab it, have a nice little view. And then me as the player, I can just run in and fill the stock in these chests. So, what else? We got a way to get up. And this is going to probably be the overflow. Oh yeah, I did remember I had this problem. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Maybe we just fence this off. Because I want this to have the natural lighting coming in during the day and night cycle. But I also don't want me to fall through, but I can't. So maybe if I can add a fence. Although I don't like that floating aspect of it. If we go up one. It looks a little bit better, I think. And then we got the library of books, natural lighting. Actually, I think this would be a great place for just a picture frame. Yeah. All right, there we go. Oh, of course, we need a bed up in here because this is also a house in a way. It's not just a shop. I think this could be the bedroom. Oh, I can't wait till the cushions come out. That'd be so nice to put right there. When you unlock iron and redstone, do you think you'll use auto sorters or do you think you'll keep everything manual? I think I will keep everything manual for a while. I don't want to jump straight into an automatic system. I like the idea of every structure and build has this kind of like its own place. Is that? Yeah, that doesn't hit. Cool. All right, what peripheral items could I add to this person's shop? A keepsake. If I had the ability to do clay, I would add a pot here. Ooh, I know. Let's just frame andesite. Oh, that's... We can do that. Andesite's special to this person. They love it. I still kind of feel like there's bits and bobs missing in this little area, but I can't decide what goes there. I think I'm going to hold off on that, and I want to start working on the other two stores. So I made this weird little shape last time, and this is where I want the diorite rock shop to be. I want to give it very diorite characteristics. So let me give that a go. I did use the Axiom mod over the weekend, and I found some really cool things that I really enjoyed learning from it, like being able to place anything far away and breaking it far away. Could I add some barrels in the big open areas? Ooh. Yeah, that actually might be a good idea. Let me kind of see what that setup looks like. Does that not want to? There it goes. Yeah, I think that could work for sure. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I was playing around with the Axiom mod over the weekend, and I'm getting more used to it. It's definitely a learning curve, but I am learning more little tidbits about it that are for sure helping me out with learning how to build. Because that right there, being able to just not have to scoot in real close to every little detail, that's really nice. I know they like Mojang, they were, you know, one of the mob votes back in the day was the crab, and you could extend your reach. I'm curious how that would actually be implemented in game. That is one I would like to see. I mean, there's always the possibility of them actually bringing it back, considering that they brought the copper golem, which was a mob vote that did not get voted in. So there is a possibility. There is a downside of this like super far reach though, because like I can accidentally misclick and add stuff very far away. I did that with another build where I accidentally just spammed something and then I clicked it very far away and I didn't find it until after the fact. So I fear I'm going to be making that mistake quite often in my Minecraft career. If I had pale oak unlocked, I think I would use that in combination with this. Okay, I actually think this should be the entrance. Yeah, that's how it should be lined up with this one. So I like this little almost twin tower look it's got going. Like I said, that means I gotta move my symmetry. Yeah, I think that would be a nice entrance. I always keep hitting E on the thinking that that would be the escape key. Birch would look better. But yeah, for today, I kind of want to work on this build and get these fleshed out so I can kind of bring them into the World of Everteiz. Because I'll be still working on the script for the next video, but I'm excited to get that under its way. And then I kind of want to work on some mob world videos as well. I have some ideas. I only have one currently out, but I think I can probably push out some more in the future and maybe have some more fun building and creative with those types of builds, because those videos are you know, I build like a structure around on a mob and it's not constrained to the same limits as my forever world, whereas that one I could literally do whatever, so I'll have a little bit more creative freedom. What mob am I looking forward to building in Mob World? Uh, well, I came up with an idea that if I have time during the stream, I might actually work on. Uh, I was gonna do something cool with the skeleton horse, because I think that would be a really interesting, kind of like a spooky little castle vibe that I could work with. I think that was something I could definitely do. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Can't wait to see the Ender Dragon. Yeah, I think for the Ender Dragon, I would need to make its actual house in the end fountain, like the Ender Dragon, like where it spawns. I think that's where that needs to go. Because, like I said, Mob World is a totally different place than the World of Everteiz, so I can totally use that end islands and everything just for the Ender Dragon. How do I plan on doing the Wither? Ooh, I haven't thought that far. I have vague ideas of kind of what I want to do. How does that look? Yeah, I seriously did something with my settings where I move really fast and I don't know what I did or how to change it. But that's okay. That's kind of a cool little... I really like the shaders because they get moments like this. A little sunbeam going through. Okay, okay. It's coming along. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to resemble exactly, but it's doing stuff. Um, and just to recap for people who haven't like watched my videos or watched the previous stream, this is one of my shops that I'm making, and this person is selling diorite, and I really want my shops to be pretty unique and kind of just out there, and I think I am accomplishing that pretty well. Uh, I kind of did this one kind of like a triangle, and this one very square-like, and then this one's gonna be very cylinder. I don't know, just the thought that I had, and I just kind of wanted to execute it. It keeps things kind of fresh in the world. I feel like with diorite, it's very easy to get uh, making it all look very clean, and I feel like that kind of distracts away from the still wood and stone builds that I'm trying to go for. So I do need to be careful and not just go crazy with diorite, which I don't know why it gets so much hate. It's a great block. Same thing with birch. I'll use birch. I feel like you just gotta figure out how to use it. That's what I was gonna do for the flooring. Just add the actual diorite itself and mix it in like I did with the previous one with the andesite. Kind of like the idea of having them in the middle without touching any of the others. I think that is accomplished. No, I already have oak logs, so I think I can combine them. Get a unique look in here. Ooh, how do I want to do this? Because I'm thinking of like having a very small, cramped bedroom right here. That's where the stone order. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. The shop owner. They're gonna sleep up here. But how to get them there? Steps like that, maybe. Maybe it could work. This could be a very unique bedroom, that's for sure. Actually, I'm gonna put it down one more, because that way I can put a bed here. Yeah, and I'm gonna raise this up as well. Actually, let me bring back some of the stone, because I still feel like I'm just overdoing it with the diorite. I do want a good mixture. And I do think the stone and wood go pretty well together. Kind of have the diorite on the inside, and then the outside you see the stone. Except for special cases like this one. I don't know if this is going to be the actual wall I'll be using, but I kind of want to get a base down just to see what kind of shape I want to work with. Okay, maybe. Kind of gives that curved feel. Don't worry, I'll change it soon, but just want to get that feel going. Ooh, I could do chimneys in here. Yeah, I like that. That way it's kind of like they're doing something, you know? It's like a shop, it's or some type of smeltery place, and they're I don't know. I don't I'm not very knowledgeable in how to form and shape stone in real life. I know they do it with ores and like iron in real life, but I don't know if you actually need fire or anything for stone shops. But it looks cool, so we're gonna keep it. I think that is kind of my design philosophy. If it looks interesting or cool, it's worth keeping. Okay, now how claustrophobic does this feel? Got a little bit of room on the sides. It's definitely getting there. Oh, you can't combine slabs. Ugh, man, I wish they would add that to the game. That would be nice. Ooh, that kind of looks like a helmet, almost. Not that they sell helmets out here, but definitely something. Alright, now what to do with this ugly side. I need to fix it. Don't have enough blocks unlocked in my world to quite get a gradient yet, but I can at least do this. Give it a little bit of variety. I think it's just a tad bit too cramped in here. I think it would actually look better if I pushed it up just slightly one more block. Alrighty, what to do next? I feel like roofs can be pretty challenging, especially since I'm not an expert on roof making. But you gotta start somewhere and kind of just figure it out. took you a long time to find that a good roof I liked. I just wrote it down. Yeah. Yeah, roofs can be hard. For sure. Because, like, I feel like most people use the stair block, like I am right now, for roofs. It's great, but then you... Although, at first I thought this looked kind of gross, but now it might look a little intriguing. But yeah, it's challenging. Roofs are fickle. I do like the new shelf because it's basically like a vertical slab. So in moments like this, when I have like a little just square, I can hide it just like that. What have I done though? I think I'm just gonna bring this all the way up. There. Now that's hidden. But I do actually want to have some natural lighting, but trying to figure out where the best spot for that would be. Okay, okay. I think I'm going to use my same technique that I used in the andesite and use walls as a upstairs natural light. Like just enough, but you know, nothing can go through there. Then just a little square window there. I think that came along a lot better than I thought it would. Okay, I don't think I'm liking the ton of diorite here. I think I would rather have more birch walls than have that diorite showing. I guess the actual diorite block itself is not the best, but like smooth diorite, that looks pretty nice. It's definitely a wonky build. I wonder if I did that, would that block the light on the inside? No. Sweet. Okay. Just a little bit more variation. Now to close up this top little section. All right, it's all nice and quirky. Let's see what the inside. Yeah, that's not too bad for like a little attic bedroom. And these kind of look like shelves in a way. I thought that was gonna come out a lot worse than it did, but I kind of like it. Maybe make some windows here as well. Let's make that actually bigger so you can see. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Look at that natural lighting seeping through. Cover the... Now, let's make a way to get up there in survival. I think the staircase would be good. Let's see if I can make one. Wow. Okay. So that does work. That doesn't look pretty though. Let's try to make that look a little bit better. Yeah, that's working for me. Maybe a safety rail so I don't fall off all the time. That's gotta do. I guess I could do it like that. Gotta have our bed. Maybe a keepsake chest. Nah, they don't need a window. Okay, and now the actual store section. Kind of maybe do something similar to the previous store, like the andesite one. I have kind of like the list of things here. Although I could have it. Maybe like so. And double their storage. Yeah, there we go. Have that one just full of diorite on both ends. And that works out pretty evenly with each chest. Oh, I did that earlier. I don't know how I keep doing that. I like totally glitched this chest out by right clicking it just like that. I don't know if it's a certain angle, but that is the second time that has happened to me. Diorite slabs, normal stairs, walls, and polished. There we go. Maybe have it a little tucked in the wall. keep it like that. And then finally over here, have like a little display table of the different goods. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now there needs to be a... Yeah, I'll just do that. Now everything is displayed. I think it works overall. Very open shop. I guess we could actually close it a little bit more. There. Oh, this is what I'm talking about when I put stuff. It shows up like randomly somewhere else. And then I find also I break the grass blocks far away as well. Well, there we go. There's our diorite shop. Very unique triangle looking build. Ooh, there's actually one more thing I think I could add. Make some type of, do a little triangle right there, just to get the whole triangle motif thing going. Yeah. All right, on to the granite. Thanks. Yeah, it's something for sure. It's definitely having the creativity juices just flow, and I don't know if it definitely unique. I'll give it that for sure. 100% unique. Also put some banners. Ooh, wait. Okay, we got some more banner designs we can definitely do. Now the granite. I guess I can start by copying the floor design. Actually, unique is good. Only other thing you could do is add foliage around the building, but it looks good. Yeah, The problem with foliage is, like, if I wanted to get like leaves, I have to still unlock iron to get the shears, to get those, or silk touch, which I don't have, but I could bone meal grass around, so that is a possibility. So I do want this particular build to be a little bit more grand than the other two, because the character that I'm cooking up for this shop is kind of going to be the leader of the stone group, like the four shops being diorite, andesite, and granite and stone. But what to do? I think I'm actually going to take this down a little bit and make it a little bit bigger. Oops. See, the far reach in Axiom is fantastic, but also has some major consequences if you just go crazy with it. Because I definitely don't want to just accidentally like poke holes in my other builds with the whole infinite reach. Let's actually move this. Make this much bigger. I bet there's a tool in Axiom where I can make like a perfect circle, but I kind of want to figure, at least for this circle, figure it out on my own. Okay, it's not a perfect circle, but it's definitely better. I want that a little bit more curvy. Yeah, there we go. So I'm thinking like having maybe 2 stories of this place, maybe a small little third. Ooh, that's actually a good idea. I might just do that. That could be our balcony right there. Or this. I'm not sure yet. Okay. I think that looks good for the structural support. Man, I can't wait till I get a lot of sand and unlock glass as well, because I feel like that would help a lot of different builds, because I think this would be fantastic for like a greenhouse looking thing. But unfortunately, even if I did have glass unlocked, I don't have enough sand in my current location in the world to really get that working how I would want it. But, you know, down the road, that'd be something exciting to look forward to. There's been a few people I've watched that do some pretty crazy things with glass. Just like the type of tint that you can do um, with glass, kind of almost like mixing the colors when they're next to each other. That's a kind of a technique I definitely want to learn in the future. All right, sweet. One thing I do need to keep in mind is no matter like how complex I make this build, I, I still have to build this within my restricted world. Thankfully, you know, now that I have copper, this should be a little bit easier. But man, building with no enchantments and no anything above copper definitely takes a while to build anything. Man, this mirroring tool makes building so much faster. It is fantastic. I only have to do like 1/4 of this entire thing, and then it just fills out the rest for me. I think I will use a little bit more granite on this build than I used andesite or diorite on the others, because if this is going to be the leader, they're gonna, have a better understanding of their craft, of their specialty stone. Well, hello. How goes it? You're our first chatter on YouTube, at least for today. No worries. I'm always streaming on Tuesdays around the same time every week. So if you miss one, I'll be around next time, unless I say otherwise. But glad to have you. Right now, just working on 3 different types of stone shops, and we're working on the granite. Currently, I don't have a huge plan of how to build these things. Just kind of go at it and see what happens. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm hopefully getting better each time I build something. That is the goal. Just kind of experiment and see what sticks. would say one thing that's pretty limiting with stone tools is just the fact that there's only like walls, slabs, and stairs. But that's why I gotta use wood so often, because you get trapdoors, fences, and shelves. Man, mangrove would go so well with this. But unfortunately, those are not unlocked yet. I don't even know where a mangrove forest would be in my my world. Oh, this is mirroring. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that just yet. Cinnabar would look interesting too. Ooh. I think I'm just gonna have to go with oak because that is such a prominent uh, wood type in the world. And I think that might go better than birch with this hard red color. If I can make a tutorial on how to download a tree chopping mod, I don't really make a whole lot of tutorials, to be honest. Um, and I'm actually not that familiar with a whole lot of mods in general. The only mods I'm actually somewhat familiar with are the ones I'm currently using, which is mainly just shaders, Axiom, and Flashback. Those are the ones I'm the most familiar with. But I bet it would be like any other installing a mod. You just need to go to whatever um, installer you like using. Like for me, I use Fabric, and look up what kind of mods that exist for that, like your current system. Now, as far as them being outdated, that's definitely not something I could help with because that would be very dependent on like the person who made the mod if they keep it up to date on current versions. But yeah, I don't know if you saw what Samurai said, but yeah, if you use CurseForge and then just click add content on mod pack um, on what you're playing at the moment, and then search for a tree chopping mod, and then hit install. There should be several videos if you know, did a Google search for it. I mean, that's kind of what I had to do to learn how to use the mods that I'm using. I will advise when using a bunch of different mods, make sure they are compatible with each other. That might just be a thing of experimenting with, you know, different types of mods and having them on and seeing if they work. Because I've definitely had a couple crashes before with using different mods that weren't compatible. I will say granite is like an amazing block for pathways. I think it lends itself really well for like rooted dirt and stuff like that. Java's probably a new favorite version of Minecraft besides Friends because most of Friends. I definitely agree with like I just recently, well, I say recently, it's been about 4 or 5 months now playing Java, and that has been playing with mods has been really great. I used to play Bedrock a lot, but yeah, it is kind of frustrating with all your friends being on console and it's harder to play. So that's why I think there's benefits to both versions for sure. Redstone lamps would look great if you could use them as floor lights. Future renovation. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, part of me is like with my like slow progression, there's a lot of things I'm like, oh man, I just want to like go ahead and do blank now. But I really want to keep it slow because I think that like makes it a little bit a little more rewarding. And when I finally get to that section, it's just gonna be really nice to fully do whatever. But I do feel like I need to. That's why like I do that second series, Mob World, because in that section, that's where I'm like opening. You know, I'm not restricted to anything. I have total creative freedom, And I think that lends itself to a little bit more freedom in that world. But I'm not really like playing in that world. I'm just more just creatively building. But yeah, after this build, I'll show you what I've been working on and what I think I could start working on. Yeah, I like that there. Redstone, like when I get to Redstone like that, the Redstone era is going to be pretty unique because, like I was saying just a moment ago, I played a lot of Bedrock. So a lot of my Redstone knowledge is very Bedrock oriented. So I think that would be kind of interesting for me to try to, like, I don't know, almost figure it out in real time. Because there's some unique, like, exclusive Redstone mechanics that Bedrock doesn't have, and vice versa. Where, like, the farms I used to make, they're not going to work the same way as they would in Java. So I think that will definitely be a fun time. Challenging, but also fun. Well, for your forever world, that is totally up to you. It is, I mean, that's what Minecraft is. It's a total, like, playground of blocks. But if you wanted a suggestion, whatever you're into. So I would say, if you're into like medieval fantasy, make some castles. Into pirates, make, ships. You can even go sci-fi fantasy and make kind of like some sci-fi builds. Your imagination is the limit. Are we talking about like different nations, or flag nations? Then make your own civilization, kind of like what I've been working on. Give them, like, make a symbol for banners. Give them a like a something to rally behind. What are their wants and thoughts? There's a lot that you can do with it, honestly. I mean, if you think about the world at large, we have, as far as I know, I'm pretty limited in my world history, to be honest, but we all have a different flag with different colors, so you can start there and kind of just think, what is their resource, what is their desires, and kind of just build a story from there. And that kind of will impact your builds too. But yeah, if you got any other questions or ideas about it, I'm more than willing to chat about it. Just kind of relaxing and figuring out what I want to do with this build. If you ever get stuck on what to build, just go into a creative world and do something like this and just place blocks down and see what your brain comes up with. It's worked for me at least. I don't know if it works for everyone, but it has definitely been working. Get one exterior log out there. I feel like if I use too much granite, it just kind of like blends all as one. It definitely needs some variety. Okay. Well, that definitely shakes some things up. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows on the side right there. I think that pretty much covers the first floor. Oh, that's pretty unique. I like the name. Have you created any lore for it as well? Interesting. Copper nuggets. Why copper? I have yet to really play with copper as like the copper nuggets. I want to uh I want to very soon make copper torches be a very common thing in my world just because they can. And I have a character, that enjoys torches, so I was thinking of incorporating that. But yeah, you have so I'm so you're saying you can make 9 nuggets from like 1 copper ingot? Because that's not bad. I haven't really done too much with that, so that's definitely an idea. I honestly like really enjoy like the different color lights that they're adding to Minecraft because I'm a huge fan of um like the frog lights. In every survival world, I try to make like a frog light farm because that's something I really enjoy. And them adding the um like the green torch essentially, fantastic. I mean, they do already have blue and red torches, but those are more functionality than actual uh, like decorative. And I kind of wish those were more decorative, or you could use them, or not just decorative, but like they had more light to them because they don't really shine that bright. Here's that balcony. How does that look from the inside? Maybe. I think I'm gonna use the wall technique again to get a little bit of that natural light. I'm just gonna go out. That way it's kind of like used in all 3 builds. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, that gives us a nice little space for the second floor. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I need to come up with a way to add a little bit of a stairs to go up there. But it definitely feels a lot more grand than the other two. And that's kind of what I was going for. I'm actually going to raise this up. Oh, I forgot I turned my symmetry off. Goes right there, I hope. All right, let me. And okay. Okay, it looks like it's in the right spot. That's good. But yeah, I kind of want to raise this up just a tad. So you got a little bit more of an arch. Yeah, that feels more empowering than the previous smaller ones. Now to just copy that. Oh, symmetry is 1 block off, or half a block off. Oops. Okay, well, I'll fix that in a second. But I think let me just get this one real quick. Well, thank you. Yeah, that is kind of the goal of the kind of the concept is more or less different people kind of build this, these different builds. You know, I'm trying to think of it that is like 3 people with the specialty of the different stone types, and they kind of show off their specialty. Nice. Just don't die to the warden. Yeah. Yeah, they actually added basically like a horror section to Minecraft with the Deep Dark and the Ancient City and with the Warden. It is definitely terrifying. When I used to go through ancient cities, I would take the longest time to actually go through it because of just every time I set off the warden, I would go run and hide until its timer went off, and then he would go dig back underground because I did not want to deal with it. I think I've seen people do that before. I have yet to attempt to distract the warden that way. You know, maybe when I get to that section in my World of Everteiz, I might do that. Okay, I'm gonna put the symmetry back on, and then I'll add some final details to this. Okay, is that in the middle? Yeah, I think so. Okay, does it look better with the fences or just the torches? Because I feel like it looks... Because I always feel like putting just torches on the wall don't quite match with the vibe, but that might work. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, I might keep it. Also, I feel like at night it will look a lot better from far away. I actually, part of my inspiration for this shape is actually I saw another Minecraft YouTuber slash Twitch streamer. He's been working on the Naruto village and like the Hokage building. I was like, oh, that'd be a good, like a kind of an interesting shape to somewhat mimic. Like I'm not going for it exactly, but definitely some inspiration for sure. Do I put railing to keep me from falling off? Or does it look better without? I'm going to keep the railing for now. Ooh, that looks like it needs to go back one. Yeah, that fits. And maybe add stairs here. Yeah. There's random birch doors out here. It happens. Okay. I feel like it's pretty dark in the middle. What does it need? Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You are officially my first sub on Twitch. That's pretty exciting. Well, I'm glad, because, yeah, it's going to be a long road to get where where I really want to be with my world, but I think it's going to be a very interesting and fun journey. Uh, and I mean, you're getting on the ground floor too with it all. with YouTube and my Twitch, of it all just kind of growing just little by little. Yeah, me too. And speaking of YouTube, I was really excited about the world tour video. That did a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think people were enjoying that one, which hopefully brings a little bit more people to come to see what I'm working on. I think this. Oh, am I hitting my head on that? Just about. I need to cut it. Okay. So I think I got the basics to this area. I think it needs to have, like the other two builds, a place like for a bedroom for the main character here, and I need to get like a storage unit and to sell their goods. My editing's really good, and for the storytelling, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm really trying like a different vibe. I think I've said this before, but I really kind of want to go back, not necessarily go back, but be different from the hyper uh energetic videos that are out there. Not saying like they're bad or anything, but I just kind of want to get a more of a storytelling and chill vibe out there that I feel like is not being told in the Minecraft community. And hopefully that will separate me apart a little bit and make me unique. I know people generally gravitate to more, fast paced TikTok style things. And I kind of want to go more of like a cinematic route. I definitely I have some ideas for sure for my forever world that I'm working on, and I got a few one-off ideas that I want to kind of explore and kind of get better at editing, really, and storytelling. Also feel like this area could be a great spot for a dining room. Should probably get the floor before I start adding everything in though. Ooh, if I had some terracotta yet, I could make some pretty interesting things. But yeah, one thing actually, my last that video, the world tour, that I kind of want to incorporate in future videos is kind of like learning transitions and kind of like really feeling a certain transition and pre-planning it to kind of like swipe to a new area. I should have kept the symmetry on because that that is not working. But when something's not working, we can definitely improvise and make something different and unique. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I should definitely put the symmetry back on. All right, there we go. The floor is done. This can be like a table, or 2 tables. Yeah, when they add the cushion, then you can put, cushions here, and I can actually sit, and I can eat at the dining room table. Okay, should the stock be downstairs or upstairs? Okay, I'll make the overflow in here. Oh, yeah. That is definitely something I could do. I feel like I don't have it yet, but I feel like this person in particular, just because of the red aesthetic, would eat beetroots. That just seems like something in a very granite house, what they would do. But for the time being, they all get bread. Because well, actually, no, I do have pumpkin pie. I really feel like they should add more food to Minecraft. Because I think it would be, even if it was kind of like pointless, I would thoroughly enjoy more food options in Minecraft. Should you get mending now or later? I always recommend mending. If you can get it, get it. But I guess it kind of depends on your play style. Could use apples too, since they just dropped from a tree. That is true. I really enjoy. I've seen some mods where people like have 3D fruit, so it can be like cubes, and you can display it. That'd be nice if they added that into vanilla. I feel like there's just like a whole like miss opportunity with like food being decorative. You know, since this is actually like the big place, I'm gonna make it where they have just a crazy amount. So these 4 chests are all just for basic granite. Food update and an end update? Oh, absolutely. I mean, if they do make it end update, they need to like add a food like some, because I mean they got coarse fruit and it's like really unique. I would love for them to add like a new plant, like some type of plant in the end, and have that as a new like food source, and have it do some wacky zany thing. Because some of the end update mods that I've seen before, they're they're pretty crazy and cool, and it's like it would be perfect for um, some like unique food options. But then again, we also need like normal food. Because like if we had like tropical island, you know, bananas would be a good one. That is true. Just add it to the jungle biome. And then I guess that also goes hand in hand with they need to add more like normal life mobs, like monkeys. Because I think I briefly on Bedrock played with, I think it was like called Natural or Naturalist or something, and it added just a crazy amount of mobs to the game that are just, you know, normal animals. And I'm like, man, that'd be so great to just have those in the game. Papaya, coconuts, and mangoes. Yeah. And me being like a collector, I would like love. Yeah, that's the one. That's the add-on on Bedrock. And I think that'd be really cool if they added like all sorts of fruit and new crops to grow and like animals everywhere. I mean, it would be a huge undertaking, but I think it would be really cool. Because didn't they, like, for the desert biome, they talked about termites and ostriches or something along those lines? I think they mentioned it briefly. I think that would have been a great couple of mobs to add. Well, I think it was during because I watched an old YouTube video and it was talking about they had a biome update, or like instead of like a mob vote, it was a biome vote, and it's I think it was the fox won, but one of the ones that didn't win was a update to the desert, and they briefly showed off of like if it won, they would add termites and like I think an ostrich. I was like, man, something we never got. You're still mad about the penguins? Yeah. There's still hope. I mean, if they brought the copper golem back from failed mob vote, there is a chance that other mobs could come back. Although there definitely, I don't want. I think it's the barnacle, like from their very first mob vote. I definitely don't want that in the game. You play modded so you can have whatever you want. Yeah, Mom is a great animal mod to add. Yeah, I think the only thing for me is like with vanilla is like I really want to experience what they do add to the game to its fullest. So I get be like, well, I gotta truly experience it, but maybe I have a world at some point where I totally play completely modded, and maybe I can make content on that someday. There was a person I used to watch on YouTube, and they got really big into the create mod. I think that was pretty cool. And that's like Redstone on steroids, if I remember right. Yeah, upstairs is just gonna be total just extra. The problem with adding all of this is then when I put this in the actual game, like I'm gonna have to mine this all with copper. I'm gonna turn those around. And this will be the bedroom. Oops. And of course, they'll have a double bed. Yeah, that looks good. I feel like there's more I could add to this, but I think I'm going to hold off and have that later. Because I do also want to spend a little time in the other creative world and show off what I got going on in there. And maybe give you guys a sneak peek. I have never been a big fan with ice cream with nuts. Yeah. Same thing with chocolate and nuts. Well, there you go. That is pretty much done. We got our 3 shops. Oh yeah, I was gonna make banner patterns. I feel like this shop could use some too. Okay. I am not. You can actually see I still have the banner from the previous thing that I did. Because I feel like if I remember right, you basically need a bunch of kind of like colors in your inventory if you want to experiment with it. I have very, very limited knowledge with banners. I always feel like it's a very underutilized part of the game on my end, and I need to use it more. If I type, okay, yeah, die, which I can't use black or green. Green is for cactus, and I don't have cocoa beans. I do have some blue that I could use, which I guess in turn I could do these. I think I have some gray. But yeah, definitely yellow and red and orange are the colors I have the most of because there's a ton of flowers in the world that I can use. But until I really get like farms going in the World of Everteiz, I don't think I can quite do that just yet. And I can't use any banner patterns either. All right, what would be great for a rock shop? What kind of design do we want to go for? You beat a world record. What world record did you beat? How do you even know that you beat it? I'm not saying that you haven't, but I'm just kind of curious. Like, how do you gauge that? Oh, That almost looks like a Pokeball. I feel like I'm gonna have to do some digging on the internet to look up some good looking banner patterns, because this is I'm gonna have to just experiment a lot more with it. But anyway, yeah, I kind of want to show you guys kind of a little bit of the other world and kind of show off some experimentation that I was doing over here. So speaking of Pokeball, I made this Pokemon Voltorb. I was considering making another, I don't know, maybe it might be a one-off, I don't know, but I was thinking it would be kind of cool to make maybe like Pokemon statues, but not just their color. But I was actually thinking, if I know how to do it, have a gradient. Actually, I think I need to, this is just something I was experimenting with the other day. I finally figured out how to work this. So if I get some, let's see, some stone. I did not know how to work this the other day. And then we take what's inventory. All right, let me make sure to see if this. Clearly, I'm very new to this and still trying to figure it out. Okay, did I do it? More or less. I definitely need to work on it. But I was thinking, like, what if I kind of made Pokemon statues and make them look like they're kind of like ancient civilization style, like buried, like weathered and whatnot. Ah, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Wanted to get that in one stroke though. Okay, did that. Yeah, there we go. I think it kind of, well, it went to dark really fast. But anyway, I think kind of the idea is just to get it shaded in a way. If I can actually figure it out. But yeah, and then probably like place it in the ground and then have like moss and whatnot overgrown and then make other like Pokemon statues. I think it'd be kind of like a fun video. It's just a concept that I've been cooking, but that might be a ways off. But I kind of just wanted to kind of experiment and show anyone that's in the stream currently what I've been thinking. And then for Mob World, because I did actually use that gradient for the silo that I was working on. This would probably be my next video I'm actually going to release, is this. So I'm not going to spoil it too much, but kind of give a little sneak peek of what I've been working on. But yeah, I kind of want to go back to doing some Mob World videos, because hopefully I can get in a workflow where that can kind of get that out faster and get some of those videos out. That way I can spend a little bit more time on my Everteiz and long story driven videos for the Forever World. But yeah, that is more or less it. I'm actually going to hop on to that Forever World for just a second to kind of end the stream, and just kind of like, if you got any questions, ask away. Because I actually haven't hopped on to this world in a hot minute. So I was just going to relax for the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes and do that, and then call it a night. What's my dream seed question? Honestly, like, I haven't done a whole lot with like seed hunting. So as long as I'm not like spawned into a desert or like the ocean or something, I kind of enjoy just like picking whatever seed I get and just going for it. Because I want to just like shape the terrain rather than me like, I gotta find the perfect seed, you know? I'll just go like with what I have, and then I'll deal with it later and shape it. I hope that answers your question. I will say for this particular seed, I did um, actually use chunk base a little bit to look up just to get a lot of biomes nearby. So like I didn't have to travel too far to when I actually try to go get those biomes. But yeah, so next time, I think I'll be probably placing, if not placing those shops that I just made into this world. I might be working on something else. I don't know. But join me next Tuesday if you want to continue watching these live streams, and then you can also join me on Saturday. I play Pokemon or whatever. Kind of just more of a relaxing stream. But thank you all for joining, and have a fantastic one, and see you next time.